The haunting hour is at hand. Ghostly hauntings since time began. Raw side paranormal seeks the truth, looking for some kind of real proof. Creepy floorboards and eerie dark mist. Grab your camera and document this. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the raw side. A slamming door causes a fright. A shadowed hand appears in sight. Grab your REM pods and your K2s, or anything else you can use. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the wrong side. A slamming door causes a fright. A shadowed hand appears in sight. Grab your AirPods and your K2s, or anything else you can use. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the raw side. The icy air touches your neck. You feel like screaming, but you stay in check. Oars rising up to take the magical flight. You can't believe what's happening tonight. Don't run, don't try to hide. We are catching this all on the raw side. Don't run, don't try to hide. We are catching this all on the raw side.
Hey, 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 happy Wednesday, guys. Welcome to the Raw Side. Thanks for joining us. Let's see who's come to hang out with me and Cheza. And we've got Michael. Hi, Michael. Susan, Scottish Pride. Welcome, guys. Michael Burkeen and Michael's Untold Mysteries. Welcome, welcome. And I think I said Ryan, didn't I? I think I did. Well, you'll say it again. Hi, Ryan. Hey, Pomp. Welcome, everybody. I hope everybody is sit back and relax and got their favorite beverage and snack. And put your hands together and let's welcome the Miss Fabulous Cheza. Hello, sweetie. How are you?
Hi. This is so strange
Why is it strange?
because I'm normally the person on the other side interviewing someone else.
There you go. So see, you can sit back and relax. Don't be nervous. We all know each other here, so everything is cool. Well, the talented Miss Cheza. Scottish Pride says Duchess Doodle. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
got it.
always get called Duchess Doodle.
Hi, Celtic Queen. Welcome. Yes, I'm excited to have you on because I mean you're pretty much a jack of all trades, actually. You want to think about it. Gamer, debunker, painter, all kinds of stuff you've got going on.
Ex-debunker.
Oh, I think you still do it on the sneak, but you just don't show anybody. That's
Yeah,
all.
a little. A little.
Oh, just okay. I always start off. Just tell us about Cheza. Who Cheza is as a person.
I try to be a nice person to everyone and help out as many people as I can. I'm arty clarty, as my mom used to say. I like gaming, spooky stuff, reading, crocheting, knitting, drawing, painting, pretty much everything.
Nice. All those arts and crafts. I love it. I'm the same way. So it's great to have a kindred spirit right here next to me. Hi, Julie. How you doing? As far as now, you're just strictly doing gaming online as far as anything else?
Well, we're kind of in the middle because we've just launched the other channel. And it's going to be with my hubby. And we're going to do, it's kind of like a podcast react, bit of everything channel, but it's all going to be lighthearted. It's going to be fun. But for now, the Just Cheza, I keep saying Just Cheza, and it's not Cheza. But everyone says Just Cheza, so it's Just Cheza.
Right.
But the Just Cheza YouTube channel is going to be for gaming, anything fun or reactions to paranormal, something funny. It's just I'm in the middle of crux and I don't know which way to take it.
So, well, hey, you just, you get on there and you just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Whatever your mood you're in that day. Oh, what actually got you interested in the paranormal?
Well, I've had three major, I would say major personal paranormal experiences myself. One of them happened in this room. I was stood just to the left here, and this used to be a walk-in wardrobe for myself and my husband, and it's now an office. And there was a chest of drawers just to the left here, and I was going through my drawers, going through like old clothes and what have you, and it felt like an icy drip of cold water just fell on me back from the roof, and I'm looking up and I'm like, I hope I haven't got another leak. Oh no, it's raining outside. I looked outside, it wasn't raining. There was no water on the ceiling. And I was overcome with like this horrible sadness. Like I felt like someone just broke my heart.
Oh.
And I ran downstairs and I was like, Andrew, you'll not believe what just happened to us. And I was explaining it to him and he says, oh, by the way, you've got a missed call on your phone. It was your dad. I was like, all right, okay. So picks the phone up and rings him back. And I was told that my auntie, my dad's sister, had just suffered a brain aneurysm. And in my opinion, I take it as that was her being like, look, I'm here. I'm just saying goodbye. Like that's my little interpretation of it.
Right.
The other one was I was walking around the graveyard, as you do. I was trying to find my nan's gravestone because I didn't know where she was. And this graveyard it's one of the biggest in South Shields where I live. And I've never been able to locate her gravestone. And I was walking around for about an hour and a half. And I was crying. I was emotional. I woke up that day and I was like, I need to go and see me Nana. I need to go and see my Uncle David. I need to go. And I couldn't find a gravestone. I walked all the way around the graveyard twice.
Right.
And I was obviously distraught. I sat down on the bench, just crying my eyes out. And I was like, right, I need to find her. Once I find me Nana, I can find me uncle because they're pretty much close to each other.
Right.
And I just got this overwhelming determination to just go up and to stand up and just go straight. And when I looked up, it's going to sound stupid, but the silhouette of like Peter Pan, how he stood like that.
Yeah.
I looked up and I saw, and it was a bright sunny day. And I know I wear glasses, but my vision isn't that bad. And I saw this silhouette of like a Peter Pan figure, with hands on hips and stuff. And I was walking towards it, and I was like, oh, it's probably just someone waiting for someone who's visiting a gravestone or a family member or something. And then I looked down, I looked back up, and it was pointing off to the left. And I was like, there's nobody else around. Who is he pointing to? Whatever. And because when I'm out and about, I don't keep my head high. I look at the floor because I've got self-confidence issues. I don't look up. I watch my feet. And I looked down again, and I looked back up, and he was gone, absolutely gone, nowhere to be seen. There was nobody around. And when I looked in that direction, my Nana's grave was just there. And
wow.
I was like, I've been around this whole graveyard twice, and I never seen her stone at all, and I couldn't miss it. And I went over, cleaned her gravestone up, gave her some flowers, had a bit of a heart-to-heart with her and stuff. And I was like, right, I'm going to go and see me Uncle David. I'll catch you later. And then I love you, bye, and just left. And I'd never, ever forget this. I walked over to my Uncle David's grave, and you cannot miss him. He's got this big beaming smile, big teethy smile, and his picture's on his gravestone. And I got to his gravestone, had a bit of a natter with him, and I noticed there was freshly dug, like earthed over plot.
Right.
And I was saying to him, because he was known as being a bit of a ladies' man and stuff. And I was like, David, make sure that you introduce yourself to the new person. Like, don't be too forward, though. You can know what you're like. Little lady killer.
Right.
And that was that. And I tidied his gravestone up, put flowers on, etc., said goodbye, and proceeded to walk to my parents' house. And this one stretch of road, there's a hospital on the right of it, and there's a fire station on the left. The fire station is no longer in use, and there's nothing else. It's a dual carriageway, no houses, nobody around. And I got just before the fire station, and it started to snow. And my uncle, I mean, it can be taken however, but I take it as it was him saying thank you. His birthday is Christmas Eve.
Wow.
And we weren't due any bad weather or anything. I mean, you can say it's coincidental, but it gives me comfort. So, do you know what I mean?
That's all that counts.
Yeah. And it started snowing, and I was like, you're welcome, David. Like, don't worry, no one's forgot about you. We still remember your smile and how you used to crack jokes and stuff. And I took 2 more steps, and there was this huge smell of, I don't know if you've smelled it before. It's called Old Spice.
Yes.
The aftershave.
Yes.
And there was nobody around. And that's all I could smell. I was like, wow, that's so strong. It smells like someone's been bathing in it. And I got to my parents' house, and I was like, I told them, oh, I've just been to see Nan, I've just been to see Uncle David. And I said, what was Uncle David's choice of aftershave? And my dad looked at us and went, Old Spice. He stunk of it. Everywhere he went, you'd think he bathed in it. And I was like,
there you go.
So that I take that as, I mean, it can be debunked as just situational or circumstantial, but to me, that's like a don't worry, like, hi, thanks for coming sort of thing. The other one's just like a bit daft, but that's how I got into the paranormal. I've always loved Most Haunted, Ghost Adventures. That's how I started with Most Haunted.
Right. But it's, I think it's whatever it drives everybody is that personal experience.
Yeah.
Hi, Ace. Welcome, Ace. Julie, Shrimp. Hey, Steve. How's it going? I'm Mr. Wayne. How are you? Never late. Never late, Mr. Wayne. So that what prompted you to start doing your own investigations, or just get on YouTube and just jump in as far as debunking?
Well, the paranormal's always interested us because my mum, she used to, people are going to laugh. She used to give readings.
Right.
Make of that what you will.
No laughing. I do that too. No laughing.
She told me about 2 years before my son was born. He's 17 next week, and she told me she asked me. She went, "Whose name begins with an A that you're interested in?" I was like, "No one. I'm not interested in anyone. I was on like a solo mission. I was an independent woman." And she was like, no, there's someone who begins with an A, and you're going to go the whole hog. You're going to get married. There's kids. There's white picket fences. She went the whole 9 yards.
Wow.
And I'm now currently the real shrimp. I'm married to someone named Andrew. So that always prompted us. When I was in college, I used to watch Most Haunted, and we used to go out and pretend that we were investigating and stuff. But the debunking side was mostly off Beardo, because me and Beardo go way, way back. We've been friends for, well, pretty much family for about 5 years. I knew him with on his Twitch days before he had a YouTube channel
Right.
for Beardo Gets Scared. And I was watching, I used to obviously watch all of his lives and investigations and stuff. And it just piqued me interest with all of these teams claiming, oh, demon dude, bro. And it was one video in specifically that I saw, and it was Ghost Theory. And there was loads of humming and hawing about the latch on the door. And I watched it and I was like, okay, yeah, that could be classed as some sort of evidence. And then it carried on, and I heard the wind when they were stood in the underground part outside.
Right.
And I was like, okay, so maybe they haven't shut the door properly and the wind just blew the latch and it dropped and the doors opened, and that could be an explanation. And then I started watching videos from a different angle. I started seeing it from using me critical thinking, me logical eye. And once you see something, it's really hard to unsee it. And the big one for me was I think it was PSI, with the silhouette. He said there was a silhouette of a ghost or a figure, and I lined up perfectly the chimney breast, the stack wall, the fireplace, the wallpaper matched up, and it was literally just a reflection of a vase. And once you start seeing things from that angle, it's like, maybe it's this, but actually, like, if you look and you can line up the pictures side by side, it's actually this. But that's pretty much where it all came from.
Right. Well, see, yeah, I think all of us have had that kind of revelation, thanks to the debunkers like Beardo and all of them. Because you didn't look at it with those eyes when you're seeing it on the screen. You're just like, and wow, like, oh, look what they've caught, until it's pointed out that it was all pretty much BS. So, but you took it a step further. You went into actually being a debunker.
Yes.
Online, which is great. I mean, all of us that have done investigations, we do it while we're investigating. So, but as far as, what you're seeing online, you don't look at it that way until somebody pointed it out.
Yeah.
I think we've all been disappointed a great deal, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, for years, absolute years, I believed Ghost Adventures. I believe Most Haunted. I still have some of Aaron Goodwin's merch because I was in it. I had the big stepping t-shirts with the zombie and the skeleton. I used to watch Ghost Adventures and Most Haunted religiously.
Right. Mine was Ghost Hunters, the Tats team. Adventures, I knew they were phony because I had kind of like an inside track on those guys. I knew people that worked with them, and they told me some stuff that really just shocked me. So then also that just thought to myself, well, then, okay, if these guys are full of it, then what about the rest of them?
Yeah.
Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. So yeah, that's a big a big disappointment for all of us. Now, as far as, did you go anywhere as an investigator, like, any place well known, or did you just do local things? Or
I have done 30 East Drive, and as much as it is up for debate and people are saying, oh, it's just a cash grab, I do want to go back because of the simple fact of I felt at home in that house. I could move in today. It was so comfortable. The living room was quaint, and it was small, but it was warm and homely. You had that homely feeling.
You're the first person I've ever heard say that about that place.
It was so welcoming and so nice, and because I'm old school, I like all the 50s and 60s styles of furnitures and stuff.
Right.
And they have a rocking chair. anyone will tell you they have a rocking chair in that house that I want. I want to try and replicate it because it was so comfortable. I mean, I slept in the living room on the sofa.
Wow.
There was myself, Beardo, Dean Bailey, and Lee from Three Spires. And obviously they all had the bedrooms upstairs. And I was like, no, I'm sleeping on the sofa. It's too comfy. But there was one room in that house that I just could not feel comfortable in. And it was the parents' room. Now, I used to have a fear of dolls. I grew up with a lot of porcelain dolls, and it was just all like the eyes looking at you. It was very freaky.
Yeah, you don't want to come to my house then.
I'm not too bad now. I mean, I've got skeletons and skulls behind
Yeah, I
me.
have porcelain dolls all over.
But people say, oh, well, is it not because of the porcelain dolls or is it because of the mirrors? And I'm like, nah, I don't know what it is. As soon as you walk into that room, I just never felt alone. I always felt like something was behind us or they were out of my peripheral vision.
Right.
And even when we did our solo vigils in the house themselves, everybody went outside and sat in the car. When we were in the house by ourselves, I never felt alone in that room.
Wow.
Excuse me. Everywhere else, beautiful. I would move in there tomorrow. But that one room, I just could not settle.
That's pretty interesting. Did you have any other kind of experiences in that residence?
We did. When we were setting up cameras and for locked off cameras and stuff for extra footage, I was walking through the downstairs. You've got the glass pane door and then you've got the stairs coming down. I was walking down that little hallway and it literally felt like someone went and just blew in my face.
Oh.
And I was like, okay. So I stepped forward and stepped back again because I thought, well, it might have been the floor, the carpet hitting the door because the door wasn't, it was actually functioning. When we went, you could open the door.
Right.
But the living room door was fully shut and I stepped back, stepped forward again, stepped back. I asked the others who were behind me, did anybody else feel anything? And everybody was like, no, why? What's just happened? And I told them. And we all stood in exactly the same place, walked the same steps and tried to actively debunk it. And we couldn't come up with an explanation. It was weird, but I wouldn't say it was like anything huge.
Right. Did you experience anything like what the Ouija brothers did? Like, the stuff falling down the stairs, or I think one of the most impressive ones I've noticed is the one video where they showed something that actually did like a compression on Griff's chest.
I seen that. That was amazing.
That was amazing. But you didn't have anything similar to like what they experienced.
We had some taps on, I think it was Beardo's locked off camera when we were all went to bed for the night. I mean, I didn't sleep. I was in the living room. I'd done a little outro on my video camera. I was watching YouTube videos on my phone because I couldn't switch off. I was too hyped. And I didn't hear anything, but on Beardo's camera, you can actually hear something tapping on the camera and fiddling with the mic and stuff. And on the camera, whilst that's happening, you can actually hear me coughing in the living room.
Wow.
Which kind of proves that I wasn't there. And then we have timestamps of everybody else being asleep on their cameras. It was just, it's strange. But apart from that, we didn't really get much.
But well, at least you got something though. So yeah, that would make you want to go back. Everybody wants to go back. It seems to be an interesting place. And everybody has their own ideas, whether it is or isn't. Do you believe that actually there is something there?
I don't know. I believe that there's uneasy feelings in that house. I don't know if it's because we use the tri-field meter as well. And I know that the EMF and the tri-field isn't used correctly. It wasn't used correctly on the night. But there were certain spots in the house where the tri-field meter was going really, really high and it was alarming. So I don't know if it's because of the old wiring and the electromagnetic force around the house has made people feel uneasy. They did have the boiler on in the middle of, I think it was August we went. Back end of July, beginning of August, and it was boiling hot. So I mean, we had a carbon monoxide alarm and everything because we were testing for everything in case it was maybe something to do with that. But other than that, I think it's more, it might have just been the uneasy feeling about being in a supposed haunted location and all of these, because we watched the when the lights went out, we watched that movie before we investigated, try and get the spooky vibes up.
Right.
So it might have been a combination of that. I don't know, but it definitely doesn't feel that. It's just that one room for me. It's just that one room. Everything else in the house was fine, but that one room, I just, even now, it makes me.
That's amazing. So yeah, that would be great if you could go back just to see if you get that same feeling in that room. Hey, how's it going? Welcome. Hey, Phil, Tim, welcome. Real Shrimp says, ask Cheza about being able to see my great gran.
Yeah. When I wasn't going to say anything. Thanks, Shrimp.
Too
when
late.
I touched on the my mum doing readings, I was sat with Andrew one night, and I've never met his great grandma. She passed away before we met. Never seen photos of her or anything, and I don't see I see images, but I don't have like, it's not like a Flickr book or anything like that, or I don't hear words, or I'm not claiming to be psychic or anything like that. I'm not a medium. But I just got this image in my head of this, and I had a grandmother feeling towards Andrew. It's going to make me sound absolutely doolally, but I saw her in the scalloped pinny that waitresses would use with a notebook and a pen, or a pencil, sorry. The brooch that she kept in her hair tie, the outfit she used to make, the layout of her kitchen, everything. And I described this to Shrimp, Andrew, and he turned around and he said, "You've just told me what my great grand looked like."
Isn't that neat?
And I was like, oh. Like, I didn't know what to make of it at first, but it's not the first time that I've been able to picture something like that. I don't know what it is, but it's only happened maybe twice.
Excuse me. What do you think brought on that vision for you?
I don't know, because we were just sat waffling on watching TV. We weren't talking about anything specific. It was just like, like as if someone went and took a photo, and it was just an image of this lady stood on our bench baking a pie or something, and I could even see the embroidery on the scalloped edges of her pinny. It was just strange.
Maybe it was just her way of trying to connect to him, and she just did it through you. Maybe you were just more open for the experience. Because I find more people, some people are more open to certain things than others. And so when you got something like that, then there's something's going on. Hi, Jay. Welcome. Excuse me. Oh, I started choking already. I talk too much. So, so then after that, was there any other location that you went to, or was that the only one?
Recorded, video documented. That was the only one that I've done on a video. But I have done like local abandons and stuff like that. And there was, I used to have, I had several jobs at this one school, and I used to walk around and ask if anyone was there, or ask if I could get some sort of, because apparently this old caretaker who had the job before me, he had passed, and used to have to walk around this big comprehensive school, so a high school, and lock up all of the doors, and you wouldn't be allowed no lights on because all the security alarms were on. So I'd have to walk around and make sure all the fire exits were locked and closed and stuff with just a torch. So it was mainly just abandons and old jobs.
Oh, okay. Susan wants to know, could it be the high EMF can cause issues such as hallucinating? So do you think that maybe what was going on at 30 East Drive could have been caused by high EMF?
Maybes. I mean, the high spots in that house that we documented were because we didn't go around and do any base readings or anything like that, because the equipment, in my opinion, the only thing that you need really is your sensors, a video camera for documentary purposes. And I've got no trust in anything electronic. So we took hotel bells, like the reception bells that you have to physically touch. But I don't have any belief in anything like electronics or apps or music boxes or anything. Like wind up music boxes, we had 2 of them. Because then you've got to actually have physical touch
Right.
and physical pressure.
Right.
So it could be the EMF, but like I say, we didn't do any base readings. And the one of the areas in the house where there was a strong high reading was the top of the stairs. There's a plug socket, which is quite low down on the floor, at the very top of the stairs where it started to sweep round outside of the bathroom. And there was huge spikes off that one plug socket, because we thought it was the old strip lights that were in the kitchen, the long strip lights.
Good night, Cheryl. Thanks for joining. Sorry, go ahead. It's
all right. It was from this plug socket at the top of the stairs. So, I mean, it could have been, it might have just been because it was, this is 30 East Drive. So it could have been psychosomatic. It could have just been a dodgy food that we had at dinner time. I don't know.
Hope it wasn't gas station food.
No.
Yeah, see, that's a good point, because you were expecting something when you went there.
Mm-hmm.
So did you think that it deterred your investigation because you were expecting certain things to happen? Or did you put that aside and just went in there with an open mind?
I mean, I tend to go into investigations with an open mind anyway, because you never know what you're going to get, whether it's going to be a door opening, something falling, like Griff being chest compressed. Yeah. I would have loved for something like that to happen.
That would be amazing.
So I tend to try and go in with an open mind and not do research on the house, but because 30 East Drive is such a well-known building, you can't exactly escape the fame of it. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, because that does kind of spoil it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been actually touched during an investigation?
Not physically touched, no. I would love to have a profound paranormal experience like that, or something that is that you can document on camera, or
right.
Something that, like, my haunted hotel, the doll that keeps falling over. If that was on one of those, that you've got porcelain dolls, so the stands with the big bases.
Right.
If that was on one of them and there's no windows, no cars, no vibrations going through the building, and that doll flies off the shelf, then that could possibly be a huge paranormal experience. But nothing like that has happened yet. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, toes crossed, legs, everything, I'm hoping to one day get that little nugget, because then I know it would give me some sort of comfort that what I felt in this room, what I experienced at the graveyard, walking to my dad's house, what I experienced, it wasn't just emotional, it wasn't trauma based, it wasn't anything that can be explained.
Right.
It's unexplained, because I think that the paranormal isn't just about ghosts. It is something that isn't normal, so it is paranormal. but I think that would be a phenomenal thing to experience, like an actual proper paranormal experience.
Right, right. Michael wants to know, he says that high EMF common in older houses. He wants to know when the place was built.
Oh God, Michael, now you're asking.
Yeah, it's pretty old, isn't it?
Without looking, I couldn't tell you, but I know it's a pretty old building. I mean, they had a cold store shed inside the house, so pretty old.
Yeah, right off the top of my head, I can't remember either, but I know it's been there a while.
Yeah.
So if anybody knows that information, you could just post it in the chat so that we could get the answer to that instead of having me look it up. But I know it's been there a while. It's got some history. And now, as far as the future goes with your investigations, where do you plan on going, or do you plan on doing more outside investigations?
Well, I have one of the teams that were involved in one of the debunks that I did, who ironically have the same name as Jimmy, as his channel, Ghost Quest. It's not the same team. Don't worry, I haven't debunked Jimmy. But they were on an investigation with a team called Haunted Finders, and it was actually one of my biggest debunks because it was a logical debunk. And we've had an interview with the videos up there on YouTube, and it was just a scratch of the neck. And then they thought it was the person who put the video out. It was an editorial mistake. He shouldn't have left it in because he does quite clearly scratch his neck.
Right.
That team, we've actually been emailing back and forth since then, and we talk on WhatsApp all the time. And we're trying to arrange an investigation where we can all group up and do a huge venue or a huge building. One of them was the Ancient Ram Inn. We were going to do an investigation there, but because that Ghost Quest is quite a big team, we were quoted £1,500 for 13 hours, which is quite a lot when it was £80 per person.
Right.
So we were questioning doing 30 East Drive again, but like me and Ghost Quest. And then we were also looking at Newcastle, where around the corner from where I live, Newcastle Keep. And it's the problem with all locations. It's the expense. The expense is horrific.
Yeah, that's what gets everybody. Hi, Tails. Welcome. Hi, Julianne. How's it going? I think that's pretty much what deters anybody because these prices are outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps when you do have a large group because then everybody could just chip in.
Yeah.
Now you're saying you're not a big fan of the gadgets, but
yes.
if you do use any kind of equipment, what would be your first choice?
Probably the hotel bell. It's like I say, it requires physical touch for the what's it called? The drum. I can't remember what it's called. There's the mechanism inside of the bell. You have to actually physically press the button for the hammer. That's it, the hammer. For the hammer to hit the bell. So if it's something that actually requires physical touch, then I'm all for it. But anything that has electronics in it, I don't have any faith in them.
Yeah, Hunter Stu said he's used the hotel bell for years and he's only had 2 dings.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's 2 more than anybody else has probably had, so I would take it. Jay wants to know, why does somewhere have to be old to have paranormal activity, and why would a cemetery be haunted when no one died there?
That is a good question. It doesn't have to be an old location for something to be haunted, in my opinion. It can be a new build. It can be the grounds. If you believe in the stone tape theory, it could be the grounds on where a building used to be. It can be someone who has just passed recently and you felt or had some sort of activity. And what was the second half of it about the cemeteries? Maybe most sightings are because that's when people are at their lowest, or where most people go to say goodbyes and say their farewells. So they say, oh, well, we've seen something out of the corner of my eye, or
Right.
like, I don't know if a Peter Pan figure was there. It could have just been the sunlight coming through a tree funny. It could have been anything, but to me, it was a comfort thing. So
Right. That could have been somebody showing you the way. I've had a lot of activity in
mhm,
cemeteries, and it's just like I said, it could be the grounds of what was there previously.
mhm.
Lost soul, who knows? We really don't know. But you do get activity in cemeteries. Wayne says, I was wondering what seemed to make 30 East Drive one of the best places to catch paranormal activity in comparison to some of UK's most haunted locations. Good question.
Well, I think the whole 30 East Drive hype is because of the movie that was made. That definitely garnered it some expectations of it to be one of the most haunted. I mean, I live a stone's throw away from Suter Lighthouse in South Shields, and apparently that is one of the most haunted lighthouses in the UK, especially in the northeast. Same as the Marsden Grotto, that has a plethora of ghost stories surrounding the building. Sorry, excuse me.
All right.
Surrounding the building, there's a lot of history there with smugglers before the hotel was built into the cliffs. There's a lot of unalivings that have happened there, a lot of M words that have happened there. When smugglers were caught, they were hung in cages and just left there as a warning. So there is a lot of death around that
Right.
area.
A lot of trauma. Yeah.
So that is classed as one of the most haunted places in the northeast, especially. But I think the hype around 30 East Drive is what gave it the title, because of the movie and Hollywood. And
That'll do it. Let's see, Haunted Truth. Yeah, I think so many places are overrated.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's a lot because of the stories. And welcome, Occult Life. That help push that along.
mhm.
Um,
The worst thing is, though, is when you have a bunch of paranormal enthusiasts, shall we say, who will go into locations and scream "dude, bro, demon,"
yeah,
and they're putting it out to their masses as, oh my god, there's a demon here, this said this, and that can hype up the venue as well. And there's been a few recent investigations that have happened there where people have been supposedly choked, and I just why I just
again,
don't get it.
for the activity, the clicks and the views.
Yeah.
You know, when they yell that, I called last year the year of the demon, because every time you turn around there was a video. Oh, I almost died because of a demon,
Mm-hmm.
or we seen a demon, or we were attacked by a demon. I mean, if it was the truth, I guarantee you they wouldn't be filming it; they'd be running.
Yeah.
Uh, nobody wants to have to encounter that kind of an experience.
No.
Pop put out, he says, but if ghosts can walk through walls, wouldn't the bell render useless as the ghost's hands pass straight through? What would your theory be on that explanation?
That's surmising that ghosts can in fact walk through walls. What if the stone tape theory is correct and the energy or the layout of an old building to them is still the same, but it's seen to us as they're walking through walls? And there's a lot of talk about try and use all of your energy to, if you can get a response on a mobile phone app, surely you can press a bell. And if you can throw things across a room, or tip things over, or have a poltergeist in the location, then surely a little press on a bell wouldn't
Wouldn't be
wouldn't
anything.
yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, because the theory is that they do build up or take whatever energy that they can collect from that space
Mhm.
and use it to do what they want with it.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, pretty much, I think that's how they would explain that. I don't know if I said, but hello, occult life. I wasn't sure if I caught you. So, okay, now you said you're starting a new channel.
Yes.
Did you have to coax your husband into it, or was he willing?
Well, we've been talking about it for about a year now. About doing it's literally just going to be a feel good, happy, as I call it, slapstick channel. So we're going to be like reacting to a variety of videos, posts. Like today, we had a bit of a domestic about who is the best guitarist in for solos, because we're very much musically inclined. He loves music, I love music. We both play musical instruments, as you can see. And we were both joking today, and he was like, "Oh well, I think this guitarist is the best," and I was like, "This should be on Jibber Jabber because it's entertaining," and then other people can weigh in on, "Oh well, I think this person's the best soloist," or "I think this person is because of X, Y," and I just want to have like a big discussion and have some fun.
Right.
Because I think the internet at the minute is very doom and gloom, and it's very negative, and I just want to put some kind of positivity back out there.
That's fantastic. Because, yes, everybody has noticed that a lot of things that are going on now within the community and just on YouTube in general has just been drama based. And people not being so nice to each other. And I just don't understand where all of this nastiness is coming from. I mean, bottom line is, I know, everybody in chat knows, you make something and you put it out on YouTube, it's going to be criticized.
Yep.
And if you're offended by that criticism or somebody critiquing something that you did, then you shouldn't be putting stuff out. I mean, that's just pretty much the bottom line.
I was trying to explain, because me and Jimmy were having a conversation earlier from Ghost Quest, and I was trying to explain to him why I stopped doing debunks, as like that was what my channel was for. I mean, it was called Debunking with Doodle, so it was all about debunks. I can have a positive reaction to a video, 20,000 to 20 positive comments on a video. I get one negative comment and I focus more on the negative than the positive. And it's just the way my brain's wired. I've always been that way. So when it was a constant barrage of just, why are you doing this? What are you doing this for? Are you this? Are you that? And I was just like, I'm not here for it. I just want to make people happy. I just want to make people smile and help out as many people as I can. And I couldn't take it no more. There's too much downtime in the world itself without having to have it online as well.
Yeah, and that's not what we're here for. Pomp, yeah, he's pretty much harassing everybody. Just ignore him. That guy's just looking for attention. And he's only going to get negative attention. But people like that, they don't care what kind it is. They're just looking for attention.
Yeah.
Just blow them off. Just like here, my program is about education, people's experiences, having fun, enjoying each other's like experiences and information. And, the drama you leave at the door, otherwise you get the boot, because I don't have time for that. And everybody say, "Oh, great point, Cheza." Yeah, it is. And I see that now you were doing something you enjoyed, but because of that negativity, you decided not to.
Yeah.
And it's a shame, because, everybody enjoyed it. But some people can't deal with that. Like what Vera and them are going through, all of the debunkers, they go through this horrible, horrible mess. And it takes a tough skin. So, you gotta give you gotta give it to them guys that they can handle that and go on to the next day.
I mean, I always made sure that when I was doing a video, I would never It was never about the person in the video. It was always about the evidence in the video. And I would never critique their investigation skills, or I would never say, oh, what are you doing that for? You're being daft or something like that. I would never make a personal comment on anyone. It was mostly, oh, I'm here to look at the evidence that they've put out on YouTube and pass my opinion. And that was it. I always found, my nan always used to say, never look down on someone unless you're helping them up. And I've lived my life every day by that. And that's I always wonderful.
Will. Yeah, that's wonderful. Hi, Ale.
I put that in my channel because I didn't want to be someone who tears someone down. I wanted to be critical of the evidence, but not be a dick. Be nice.
Right. Well, like, you see, like Carla and I, once in a while, what we do on Sundays is we'll pick a video. We poke fun at the video, but we're not, we're not after the people themselves because, you know, it's, we don't want to do that. But, you're poking fun. There's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all in good fun. We don't really mean any harm. So it's, hopefully they don't take offense, but I mean, you never know. Let's see. Pop says, think what could be achieved if the toxicity was turned into positivity. Oh, it would be amazing. It would be amazing.
Imagine the support that everybody would have on their channels in real life, because a lot of debunkers and teams, paranormal investigative teams, are actually really good friends in real life. Like, I've stayed at Beardo's house before. He's been up here and spent time with me and my family, and I've got plans for this year to meet up with Ghost Quest, and I'm also looking at other venues to meet up with P&C Paranormal, and there was someone else. I feel horrible for forgetting them. But I want to try and meet up with these people because we've become really good friends online.
Right.
So people just say debunk as if being, oh, you're just raining on me parade. You're just doing this and putting a downward spin on things. You're jealous. You're this, you're that. And it's not. When people aren't like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's always better to be, on the positive side. We always try to build everybody up. Even when I'm doing the interviews, I mean, there may be sometimes I might have to ask questions that people aren't too thrilled about, but I want to get all sides. But I never, there's never a personal attack on anybody. So I just don't go for that as well. So it's better to find out what you're doing, who you are. Cause a lot of people never ask, well, who the person is. I mean, we know you're a paranormal investigator or whatever, but I'd like to know the person personally, because I mean, we see you all the time. So, we want to know who the person is behind that smiling face of Cheza, not just, did Cheza go ghost hunting? It's, Al says he likes, I love, paranormal explorers in abandoned houses. Yeah. That's pretty amazing.
I think anyone who does, abandoned houses at the minute are brave.
Yes,
very brave.
You never know what's in there. And that's usually, you got to worry about animals or vagrants, not, I wouldn't worry about the ghosts. It's, who's living that's running through there.
Yep. It's always the living and the animals that scare you.
That's right. Wayne says, meeting up with Ghost Quest. Are you planning to go to the USA, Cheza?
No, it's Ghost Quest from the UK. It's the same, a different team, but the same name. I would love to meet up with Jimmy because I'm fascinated by his documentation of the Ghost of Carmel, Maine. I'm like literally a fangirl. I'm his biggest fan.
Yeah, beautiful job. I keep telling him that. Let's see. Skylish Pride said, a person is like a stick. By itself, it can be easily broken. But when you have a group of sticks, it can't be broken. Yeah, like I'm saying, you don't know what group's hanging out in that house. So, so it's and around here, you just can't go in any abandoned place around here because you get arrested, and it's just it's not worth it. So pretty much, I stay away from the abandoned places unless it's like way out in the middle of nowhere. Then you can get away with it.
Yeah.
So, but that's very, very rare. Pop says that's where the real monsters are living. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the living are the monsters. That's for sure. Let's talk a little bit about Cheza the artist.
Oh dear.
Now, the paintings that you've been doing are beautiful. What
Thank you.
inspires you to pick up the brush and make such pretty pieces?
I've always drawn. I've always done some form of art, arty clarty, as my mum would say. And I was watching the Bob Ross. I'm a Bob Ross fan. I
Love
can't help
Bob
it.
Ross. Yes.
He's so soothing. And at the minute, well, he's been going for a while now. I know that he's no longer with us, but there's a Bob Ross channel on Twitch and I am obsessed. So I watched him. It was a full stream. I think it was like 16 hours and I was glued to the set. And I just felt like I needed an outlet for all of the stuff that had been building up because of personal life and stuff. And I just needed this creative outlet. I couldn't crochet or anything. I'd lost my crojo. That's what we call it, crochet mojo. I'd lost my knitting mojo. I had no decorating in the house to do, which is usually my outlet. And I tried myself I was scrolling through Instagram and my old painting came up. It was like 4 years ago. And it was a Bob Ross picture. And I'd put loads of glitter on it. And I was like, yes, I love it. And it's currently hanging in my dad's kitchen, which I keep telling him to put it down and like put it in a drawer somewhere, but he won't.
He's proud.
Oh, it's terrible.
Not to him.
But I needed this outlet. And I just sat, I treated myself to some new paints and some brushes. And I just sat and I painted the candle with the double pane window with the rain coming down. And I just instantly was hooked. That was it. I needed to paint everything and anything. I just needed to paint. And now I've got two pieces that I'm working on because I wake up and I'm like, right, do I crochet today or do I paint? Because as you've seen, I don't know if you have seen, I'm crocheting a gypsy fairy coat for the summer.
Nice.
And it's going to have a nice hood and some nice sleeves. And it's now a toss-up between do I wake up and crochet or do I wake up and paint? So now I've got a Lego skull to build that I'm in the middle of building.
Oh, that's cool. Lego skull.
It's got light up eyes and everything. That was
oh, wow.
It was a gift from Scottish Pride and Celtic Queen, who are in the chat.
How nice.
I'm obsessed with skulls. I don't know if you can tell.
So, yeah, I've got a few hanging around here too. So
I needed that creative outlet because I couldn't wallpaper or paint the house.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing your finished artwork. And actually, I would love to add it to the magazine as well if you'll allow me to.
I'm more than welcome.
But yeah, I'd love to share all that. Bill has a question for you. Bill says, he goes, you noticed you mute your mic. You only need to touch it. Very cool. What brand is it?
It's a HyperX Quadcast. So it's got a mute button on the top.
Nice.
And Beardo used to use one years ago. And then he upgraded. He got I think it was an Elgato mic. But my brother had the same mic as Beardo, and because Beardo recommended it to my brother. And my brother was like, oh, I'm upgrading. I've got a Go XLR and stuff. Do you want this mic? And I was like, yeah. So I got the mic for free, but it's a HyperX Quadcast. So it's used for podcasting and stuff.
Wow, very nice. Yeah, I like that feature that all you have to do is touch it. Hello, dear Carla. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, Carla.
Remember, guys, if you have any questions, just throw them out there and we will get the answers. Well, we'll try to get the answers. But all right, now we're going to go talk about Cheza the Gamer.
Oh, dear.
You mean serious business.
Oh, dear.
What started you gaming?
The ZX Spectrum, the Commodore. Where do you begin? I've always been into gaming, always. I watch a lot of gaming streamers. I watch a lot of content creators on Facebook and YouTube who play Call of Duty, horror games. But how long ago was it? 3-4 years ago, I started my streaming journey online, and I started playing Call of Duty, Phasmophobia, ghost hunting game. Ironic. I used to play a lot of horror games, and it was more the thrill of being scared or the adrenaline rush of playing Call of Duty online as well, because I'm really bad at it. I'm really bad at shooting games, but I think they're so much fun. And when you've got the right people in your game with you or in the voice chat with you, the bouncing back and forth between everyone, I love it. I think it's so funny. And when you get on with them so well, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, you guys are good because I stink at playing those games. So I'll just sit there and lurk and watch you guys play because I just totally stink. Let's see here. What Pomp say? You ain't that old, Cheza, for ZX Spectrum, surely.
Yeah, I'm nearly 40, Pomp.
Oh no, not 40. Oh.
I feel
Hello,
old,
Mr.
right?
Joe. 40. I'll take.
Hi.
I'll go back to 40. But
I feel like I'm 90.
yeah, I know that feeling.
I've got the lungs of an 80-year-old, so I'm nearly there.
I don't know, boy. We just need to find a miracle for something because it just we're too young to be feeling this old.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, Scottish Pride said Cheza gets a thrill from being scared. Just check out the monster spider on the wall between the guitar and the pictures.
It's not a spider, it is a screw.
I do see it.
I used to have a shelf right there, and it's a screw left over.
I would believe it if it was moving. Oh, nope. See, we got her wrecking her whole house now. I believe it if it was like, side-eye guy spider, which was actually running across the wall.
No. I could never, ever go to Australia just for that.
I am totally with you. And I told him that. I said, you are a brave man. I said, because if it was my husband, I'm not joking. My husband would have shot it and then patched the hole the next day.
Yep.
Because it was the only way he would get close to it is if he shot it.
Mine's a Hoover. I go around with a vacuum and I'm like, no, you can't stay in the house. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But the only thing is, then you have to dump it and he's still in there.
And that's not too bad because then he gets stuck in all the dust bunnies and I'm fine with that. But when he's like crawling across your wall, and some of them, or even where I am, some of them look like they're big enough to hold kitchen knives. And it's like,
oh, geez.
Get the Hoover. Get the Hoover quick.
I always say, we used like my husband work boots. Get the work boot.
Yep. Steel toe cap boots.
Get it. Get it. Because I won't go to bed until it's gone. So
yeah. If there's a spider in the bedroom, I can't go to sleep. I'll sleep somewhere else in the house. Especially if it goes missing. No.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah. I won't go to bed until it is I know it's gone. So I could be up for hours. Julie says, she says Hoover's my go-to too. Yeah.
Yep. Especially when it's a Henry Hoover and there's no fight in that suction. No way.
Oh, that's not right. Black widows, tarantulas, and scorpions. They're not pets.
I've held a tarantula. It was a brown-kneed tarantula. It wasn't poisonous or anything. It was when I was in school. But now that I'm older, no. No.
No. Just like Carla was last year. She did a video and she actually had, when she doing the horror makeup, had live spiders on her head. I'm like, no, you it's too much for me.
No.
Too much. You see, that's what I agree with Jay. Jay says that they could crawl out of the Hoover. Yeah.
No, because they get sucked up with all the dust bunnies and stuff. It's fine.
Nope, gotta squish it.
And they're in a bag, so you just take the Hoover bag out, put it in the trash, and then you're fine.
See, mine's bagless. It has the container.
Oh, see,
So
I've got a bag
you
in
gotta
mine.
dump it. You gotta dump it. And I watch mine like I'd open it and it'd jump out at me.
Oh.
Carla says she's gonna be doing another one. Carla, we need to talk.
Yeah. Blink twice if you need help.
Oh man, yeah. This guy
Oh,
said, my tarantula has free roam of the bedroom. Oh no way.
Scottish, I'm not coming to your house anymore.
That's it. She knows now.
Nope.
Yeah, because the size of the spiders they have in Australia. They come in the house. My husband said we would either burn the place down. We would move definitely.
Oh yeah. Once the spider has shown itself, it's their house now.
Yeah,
You could
yeah.
just leave. All the belongings are his. Just
That's it.
leave the house.
Because there's no way I'd be going back in.
Nope.
These people are brave. That's my one beef is that outside is their domain. You cross the threshold, you get hit with a shoe. That's about it. Or whatever I have handy to grab, and it's far enough away where it can't jump on me. So yeah, just don't like it at all. Oh man. So as far as your gaming, what is your favorite game to play?
Oh, now you're asking.
Yeah.
At the minute, it is Diablo 4. But I also have a soft spot in my heart for Call of Duty Zombies, because that was what I used to play growing up with my brother, and it's got a special place. So Call of Duty Zombies, Diablo 4, and I love Fortnite. I know that it's for kids and it's all bright and colorful and stuff. It's fun. It's fun.
That's what's important. So what game have you hated because it's just too hard to play?
Not that it was hard to play, but the story was difficult. Was Visage. I still haven't completed that game, and I got that, I want to say 3 years ago, because the storyline's just
wow. Yeah. I never even heard of that one. So it's
the opening scene is you're sat in a basement and you're playing as a character. Well, from the character's perspective, and he has I don't know if I can say it, a pew pew with him and 2 female companions, and he
right
just pew pews. And then the story carries on from there, and it's dark. It's dark. And Beardo, I don't know how he did it, but the Dolores chapter in that game is horrific. Can't do it.
Oh wow. So
Cannot do it.
The graphics are really bad, huh?
It's the story behind it. It's like a psychological thriller horror game.
Okay.
So I can't deal
plays
with
your head too much.
Yeah. Like I can play Mortuary Assistant till the cows come home. I love that game, and you actually perform actual autopsies on a game in-game person. Whilst being haunted by demons and a threat of your life from a demon. But I could play that all day. That doesn't bother me.
Right. Mike says, he goes, I know that game. It's pretty twisted.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of them I don't know. I just watch whatever you guys are all playing, man. I have no idea what's going on. I just, I just watch what everybody's doing. Let's see. A Scottish Price said, I went through that with Devore's storyline is kind of redundant and got bored really, really quick.
Yeah, Devour it's more jump scares than a story to it. It does have a brief story to each character and each map that you play in. But it's more for the jump scare factor, because you're being chased by this demonic entity, this person who's been taken over, and they just come out of nowhere and they're just in your face. It makes you scream. It makes you scream.
So, hey, Jeff, how's it going? Hopefully you're harassment free today, Mr. Jeff.
Yeah.
Wayne was saying that he goes, a spider looks at me, licks its lips, and says, "Here comes dinner." Oh God. What kind of spiders you got at your house, Wayne? We all better run. Oh man. So now you guys all just you play them just all online, or can you personally just play at home?
It's a mix of both. I've got a game on the Xbox that I've downloaded. I was gonna stream it. But I didn't have the capture card at the time because you've got to have a capture card to stream to YouTube, whereas on Twitch you can just stream direct from your Xbox. And it's called Beyond Hanwell, and I won't play it off stream because if I've played it off stream, then the reactions aren't real. Okay. It's not as good as if you were streaming it. So even if you're streaming to 2 or 3 people, your reactions are genuine to that game. So I won't play a game off stream if it's a horror because I want people to be able to experience with me.
Right.
So if it scares me, it's going to scare me.
Right. And then everybody else's reactions. Okay. So that would make more sense. Make it more thrilling anyway.
Yeah. But like the likes of first person pew-pews, like Fortnite, Call of Duty, I play them off stream. I play them with the hubby, with the child, the teen. Right. Play it with friends still when I'm not streaming.
The only one I've tried to play, and I've said it before, you guys, and I don't even remember the name of it again, but you guys are going to know. All I used to do is just drive around and shoot the hookers.
GTA.
Probably. And that's all I could do. Run them over or shoot them. That's all I could do.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah. It's terrible.
My brother actually has a spot in GTA Online, which is what he's playing at the minute. He plays the role-playing side, so he actually plays the character of a police officer.
Oh.
And he goes around and busts the people who go around shooting all the hookers.
Oh, I'd be in big trouble then, because that's all I do. That's the only thing I figure out. The rest of it I couldn't figure out. But I don't put any effort into it. I think if I put some effort into it and played it like you guys did all the time, then I would catch in. But it's just, I just enjoy watching more than anything else. Jeff says,
sorry.
It's all right. Go ahead.
Even silly games, like I play House Flipper. I don't know if you've heard of that.
No.
You buy properties with online money. It's not real money. And you decorate them. You fill it with nice furniture. You take care of the lawns, the gardens, trees and stuff, and make it look presentable. You repair walls, and you can do plastering and tiling and stuff. And then you sell the property on for a profit. So House Flipper. And so it's
more on my speed.
Nice. You can also get Power Wash Simulator, and they're bringing out Rug Doctor. Now, I sit for hours. I can sit for hours scrolling, watching those people clean the carpets.
Oh, God, me too. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Well, they're bringing a game out of that. So if I go missing, that's what I'm doing.
Yes, okay. At least I'm not the only goof, because I'm thinking, my husband's like, "What are you watching?" I go, "I don't know. It just you're mesmerized."
Yeah.
By how filthy it is and how clean they get it. Hi, Cynthia. Welcome. Jeff has a question. He says, "What is a good horror game to play for someone who doesn't play that genre of games?"
Oh. If you're not squeamish, you could try Mortuary Assistant. It's always a good place to start. If you're still wanting the paranormal stuff, I would say Phasmophobia, because the progression in that game is really good. You get to mess around with like SB11 spirit boxes and stuff. But there's like different challenges in the games as well. You can get trophies and calling cards and stuff. So it's silly fun.
And as far as difficulty, how difficult is that game to play?
Well, you can choose your difficulty. So you do the training first. So you've got to go through ghost school. You do ghost training. It takes about
ghost school. Okay.
It takes about 20 minutes. Never play it on VR unless you have a lot of room. Because you will be scared when the ghost hunts. You've got to try and survive the ghost hunt, and the ghost hands that come in VR. It's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Good night, Jade. Thanks for joining us.
Night, Jay.
Excuse me. So, okay.
If you like jump scary games, Devour's always a good one to go for. If you've got a strong stomach, you could try story-based horror, which is the likes of Visage or Graveyard Shift's good. It's a quick solo single-player horror game.
So yeah, Jeff said he goes, I always die in plasmophobia. So
don't worry, I'll teach you, Jeff. I'll teach you everything I know.
Oh man. Let's see. Real Shrimp says, don't ever play in VR if you're disabled. I thought my legs were working. Oh my. Oh my.
He put the VR headset on in the kitchen because that's the biggest space we've got. It's big and square.
Oh,
and
man.
He said he was going through the training in Phasmophobia, and he said it feels like I'm walking, but I know that I'm not, and it's freaking us out. So he had to take the headset off. He couldn't handle it.
Yeah, because it does play with you. Because my son has a VR, and I've done a couple, and because with the fibro, you don't have great balance anyway.
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, you better hold on. And a good thing you did, because I would have been on the floor.
Oh yeah.
It was awesome, though. My husband did it, and I was the most funniest thing we ever saw in our life. Because he's like, I forgot what. Oh, I think it was the one with the roller coaster and dinosaurs. And
God, no.
we're going through. My husband's like, whoa, and he ends up on the floor. And we're laughing at him.
The boxing one's fun. Just don't do it next to anything expensive.
I like the shooting range one where you got all these great weapons. It's awesome. Jeff says he's the worst ghost hunter ever. We believe it.
You're on your own there, Laura. I'm not getting involved.
Let's see. Cheza says, had that happen on Plasmo, had a ghost event turn around, and it was right in my face, and almost punched out the monitor. Oh yeah. No, that's funny.
You've got to have seen it, the scary maze game.
No.
This, oh God, do not do the scary maze game, please, because you will get scared. It's horrible, but it makes you very punchy, because one minute you're fine and you're just walking around looking for EMF, trying to speak to a ghost, and the next minute, like I say, you've got hands, or you turn around and the ghost is there, and it can freak you out. It can, because the events are very sporadic, and each ghost has its own set of events that it does. So you never know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates.
Right. Hey, Two-Ply, how's it going? I'm not easy scared like that, because I'm always expecting it.
Right.
So, like when you guys are doing the gaming and stuff, and I know it's coming, and then you guys are like, oh, and I start laughing because I always expect it. So I think it kind of kills it for me.
Yeah. I mean, I got so familiar with the Phasmophobia game and the experiences that you get in the game that I could literally go into a house, get an event, and leave and tell you exactly what the ghost was, where it was, what event it was going to, etc. I could do everything. And it got to the point where myself and Beardo were playing games in the game. So you get something called cursed objects in Phasmophobia, and it's supposed to irritate or calm the ghost down. And you have tarot cards. And we got so used to playing the game that we used to play something called bogeys with the tarot cards. And what you did was you'd use the tarot cards until the hunt card came out. When the ghost was hunting, you had to shout bogeys and get increasingly louder until the ghost either killed one of you or made you crap yourself.
Okay.
And we used to try and kill each other in the game all the time. We used to throw the music box that makes the ghost hunt and shout grenade after we'd throw it so that the ghost would be there and already kill the person. It was so stupid fun. Stupid fun. Yes, a poldy bomb.
Okay. Let's So yeah, there's a lot of them I don't even know about. So if you guys aren't playing it online, I haven't seen it.
I think it depends on how long you've been watching Beardo, because he hasn't played Phasmo for a while. I know that he did pick it up again last couple of months, but he hasn't played it for a while because he got too bored with it.
Right. See, that's the thing. Yeah, but that's also the beauty of it, because there's so many of them. Once you get bored with something, then you could just move on to something else, and it kind of like just recycle everything.
I mean, that game's one of the games that made Beardo fall off his chair. So
it's good.
It's a good game. Especially for the viewers. For the viewers, it's fantastic.
Yeah. So that's definitely something that we would like to see. Yeah, that's what Mike was saying. He goes, he enjoys the sensory experience horror games give. So yeah, well, that's what it is. You guys get drawn in to, because I do that with movies. I become a part of the movie when I'm watching it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm affected by certain movies so much. But I think it's just with the jump scare stuff. Like I said, I'm waiting for it. I know it's coming. So I think that spoils it for me. But maybe on some of these games, it might be a little different, because you're going along and you might not even think nothing of it. And then all of a sudden, there it is.
When Beardo used to get this question a lot when he was on Twitch. And then when he came over to YouTube and he did the gaming on YouTube, he used to get the same question a lot. And they used to always say, are your jumps, when you jump, when you're scared of the game, is it real? Is it genuine? Or do you just do it for show? And I can tell you, every single jump scare that has hit Beardo or myself or any of the other horror streamers out there, they are 100% genuine, because when you're in the game, it draws you in like the way you're drawn into a film or into a movie or a TV show. And like at the minute, I'm obsessed again with the Vampire Diaries, so I'm Elena. In my dreams, I am Elena
You're
Gilbert.
in there, right?
But when you play the horror games, especially when it's a psychological horror or a jump scare horror even, it makes you're expecting it. You are expecting the jump scares and to be, but that it keeps you on the edge. And when it does happen, you're not expecting it, and it does hit you really hard. Like Phasmo still gets me now to this day. Demonologist, not so much, because their developers kind of gave up on their own game, which is a bit sad because it was a good game.
Oh.
But some of the jump scares in horror games do get streamers, I'm telling you.
What's Jeff got here? So at least, it's worth it. Let's see. I get so scared when I have to turn the power back on. And oh Jeff. But you're still doing it, right? Can't be that bad if you're still turning it on. All right, I want to just throw this out there. Have you ever played a game that actually made you pee your pants?
Yes.
Oh my God, it was bad.
I've played a game that gave me nightmares for about 3 days, and that was Visage. Visage made it messes with your head. It really does. It makes your whole you're subconsciously constantly thinking about the story. And because the adrenaline dump that you get from playing these games makes you want to play them more.
Right.
Because it drives you. And when you get these jump scares or these events and you get that peak of adrenaline, once that dumps, you want it again. It's like the naughty stuff to an addict, like or a cigarette to a smoker. You're constantly craving that next adrenaline jump. So the last game that made me absolutely pee my pants was Visage, and I will never ever play it ever again.
Wait, what was the game? Oh, how can you explain why it was so scary?
some of the, I don't know how much I can say with it being on YouTube because it's pretty dark. Because the game goes through and there's like different chapters as the story goes on, and the Dolores chapter I won't touch. I will not touch at all. And Mike O can attest to this because he used to watch Beardo play this, and I can't do it. The story itself draws you in so much to the point where it's all you can think about when you're not on the game. And there's one part where you've got to you go on like a finder's mission. So you've got to find candles, you've got to find matches, you've got to find this. And you're so focused on looking for these things that you don't realize what's about to happen. So you're always expecting the jump, but you're not expecting that part of the story to play out. And I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
Right. Okay.
It's pretty rough.
A pretty rough one. So yeah, if you guys want something that's going to make you pee yourself, there you go.
Yeah. The Lost Alone.
I didn't think it would be that intense.
Some of the games they're made to the point where it does mess with your psyche and it does mess with your like the way that you think. There's a lot of horror games out there that are on VR that have actually been deemed not nice to the point where they've taken them off the store because it's that bad. And there's been people who have either hurt themselves or tried to hurt themselves over these games.
Oh wow, yeah, that's too intense.
And some of them have been taken off the store, so you can't buy them anymore. Lost Alone, that story is a bit dark. Without spoiling too much, you're uncovering the story of the main character, which is you, and you're looking after a little girl called, I think it's Hannah. No, Laura. And
thanks.
And you have to. She's got certain medication, so she's got to be given it at 11 o'clock every night. And there's like puppets that move, and they have sharp knives, and then there's things that chase you throughout the house, and then the story progresses to the parents aren't in the picture no more because something happened to them that was related to the house. It draws you in. But the Lost Alone series, I think it's Italian. It was called Lost Alone. There was Nonna, something else, but they've literally renamed them the Lost Alone series so that people who don't speak Italian can actually play these games.
Right. And
that game had me for weeks because I had to finish it. I had to get to the end of the story. And when you get to the end of the story, it's never the end. So it keeps you on that precipice, that cliffhanger.
So yeah, good. Hey, Double K, welcome. Oh, we got another question. Do any games contain ghost boobies?
Lost Alone. There is a bunny girl. She is a female with a very ample figure, and she is wearing a bunny head with ears and everything, and she's topless with crosses over her naughty bits. And she chases you and jump scares you around the house. Then she puts her boobies in your face a few times.
There you go. Do you have to give her ghost money?
I mean, you can if you want.
Yeah.
Start throwing the dollars at her.
I guess that would work. That Mortuary Assistant Beardo played looked good, but a short-lived game. I like multi-quest games myself.
Mortuary Assistant, they're actually working on bringing out a follow-on. Because the person who made Mortuary Assistant, they were only a small developmental group. Like Phasmophobia, there was only 3 people who started on that project, on that game. There's 3 people who made the whole game. And they then had like a development studio and an office, and they upgraded to have servers. Now it's available on all consoles as well as PC. Most indie games that are made and that are on the Steam store are generally made by just one person. And Mortuary Assistant was one of those games, but now they do seasonal events as well. So like at Christmas, you're doing an autopsy on Santa. And at Halloween, you are doing an autopsy on... Oh, who was the Halloween one? Oh, I can't remember. But they have seasonal themed events. And like at Easter, you have the Easter Bunny or some form of an Easter Bunny.
Right.
But they are working on a sequel for the Mortuary Assistant. So hopefully that one kicks off well and flies out, and then we'll get another one.
So is there any games out there that you have been wanting to play but haven't done it yet?
Yes. Escape the Iwaki.
Okay. I don't even know what that is. What is it?
It is a game where the game is connected to your microphone, and every movement, every sound that comes through your microphone alerts the demon, and the demon chases you.
No.
It's like is it silent something or stay silent? And I want to do something really stupid, and I want to attach sound alerts to the chat so that people can play sound alerts, and I want the game to pick it up to make it even scarier.
It sounds like it's going to be fun.
So that chat can be in charge of when I die in the game.
So you're sacrificing yourself to the chat. You're in trouble.
Yeah. I used to do it all the time. I used to do the Wheel of Misfortune, I used to call it, for Phasmo. And I would list all of the information on this wheel, the equipment that you get to use. So EMF meters, cameras, candles, smudge sticks, lighters, stuff, all the good stuff that you use on Phasmo. And I would spin the wheel, and whatever the wheel landed on, I wouldn't be allowed to use that piece of evidence. And every ghost has a certain set of evidence that you have to search for to identify the ghost. And I would take out 2 items of the evidence collectors. So whether that be a UV light, salt, a protective item, so like a smudge stick or a candle or something, I would have all of those taken out if it landed on those. And then I would also get the chat to pick the map. And one of the maps used to be an asylum, and it was huge. Absolutely huge.
That definitely makes it a little more interesting. So that's going to be,
Oh yeah,
that's fun.
and then
good night, Julie.
Alongside that, I used to also run a program called Dixpa, which chat have control of. And you basically get given cards. The chat get given cards, and it puts a jump scare on my screen whenever they want. So they just press a button, and and it comes with sound effects as well. So
I can actually picture that. You know, everybody's let's screw it, just get her.
Yeah, I'm a glutton for punishment.
But you're enjoying it, so that's all that matters.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
Oh man. Any questions, guys? Shoot out some questions. That's what this is all about. What are your future plans as far as paranormal goes?
I want to get a venue sorted to investigate with Ghost Quest. Whether that's going to be Newcastle Keep or like Chillingham Castle or something along those lines. We're going to have to try and get that sorted. I know that the Real Shrimp wants to do 30 East Drive, and they have like downstairs toilets. It's wheelchair friendly, so he can actually go and do the investigation there.
Fantastic.
So that'd be good to do a husband and wife scare-a-thon at a supposed haunted location. That'd be fun.
Right.
Most of the locations that I want to do are abroad, so I would have to start working on getting my passport and getting out there and seeing some sights.
Seeing some sights. What is the one place that you absolutely want or wish that you could investigate?
Pavilia Island.
Hi, Raven. Okay, explain to us, what's Pavilia Island?
It's said that was the island where the plague victims were taken, whether they were alive, still suffering with the plague, or
Right.
they had deceased because of the plague. And apparently that is a hotbed of activity, so I wouldn't mind trying there. I would love to go to Gettysburg, because I think there's already been so many sightings, and I would love to experience something like that.
Right.
There was somewhere around where I live, and it was called Cherry Knolls, and it was an asylum for people who were mentally challenged and mentally deranged. And unfortunately, that's been knocked down now. But even just to stand on the grounds, I'm tempted just to go there, just to see if there is anything residual, maybe, because we don't know.
So, oh yeah, because Scottish Prices, I didn't know that they let investigations on the island.
Yes, you can actually go and investigate on the island. There was a team not too long ago. They're Italian though, and they did Pavilia Island. Excuse me, I do apologize.
That's all right. Hey, it's a human function. There's nothing you can do about it.
It's the fizzy pop and the talking.
So, as far as coming to the States, where besides Gettysburg, what else is on your bucket list? Is there anybody that you would like to investigate while you're here with? And
I would absolutely love to meet up with Jimmy, 110%. I would love to meet up with Joe Vitale, because he is. I'm a fangirl for him as well. He's the one that made me blush my first video, and he's been so supportive. And whenever I've had questions about a device or anything, he's always just been so open to just talk about it.
Yes, very helpful.
So I'd love to pick his brain about certain locations. Of course, the wonderful Carla, because I have a little bit of a girl crush on Carla.
Woohoo!
And Crystal, like I've got to investigate with Crystal.
Crystal.
I need to meet up with Crystal.
Oh boy.
Seg, as long as he keeps the spiders away, I'll be good.
Fantastic.
Paranormal Quest as well. I wouldn't mind picking their brains about a few locations they've been to, because they're on the bucket list.
Michael says it's free to investigate, but you need permission from the Italian government.
Yes.
Ah, very interesting. Raven says, who doesn't have a girl crush on Carla?
See, Raven knows.
Ooh, everybody's after Carla. Run, Carla, run.
Run, Carla.
They're all coming. Jeez. We should set up a poll and see how many people are have a crush on Carla.
When you said set up a poll, my mind went instantly somewhere else.
I know.
I'm just going to sit in the corner.
Of course, now we just embarrassed her, right? Oh, geez. So as far as here, Raven's laughing. As far as your new channel, and I know you said you want to keep it, lighthearted and fun. When do you think that'll be up and running for everybody to take part in?
Sorry, I just saw Ravens bring out the poll.
Bring out the poll.
The channel is active at the minute. It has no content on it at the minute. We're just trying to popularize it, I suppose, get it out there so that people know that if I'm not live on just Cheza, then I'm going to be live on the other one with the hubby. We're in the process of recording, I think it was 2 videos we've got going at the minute. Still got a ton of editing to do. You know, the editing
Everybody's
never ends.
favorite, yeah.
Do you know, I love editing. I would sit and edit all day, every day.
Oh,
If
good
I
for
didn't,
you.
if I didn't have to be on camera, I would edit all day. I love it.
So yeah, it's not one of my favorite things to do. So I avoid it at all costs. So that's just me. Do you have any special events that are going to be coming up?
Yes, I do. We're doing a 24-hour. Well, I'm doing a 24-hour stream. This is going to kill me. I'm not as young as I used to be. To raise funds for Scottish Pride and Celtic Queen's lovely little grandson.
Wonderful.
And I'm actually in the looking glass for people to take part and keep me going, because the last time I did one, I was a mess. I was a mess by maybe 16 hours. I was crying on camera and everything. It was terrible. But we're going to try and raise as much funds as we can, just to help the family out a little bit, because what they're going through is rough.
Yes, that's just a wonderful cause. Like I said, you add me to the list.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to hit us all up with the details.
Yep.
Yep. Jeff is in.
I'm just waiting for the all clear from the GP to say that my lungs will be fine. My blood clots aren't going to clot anymore. And then once I've got the all clear, I'll start working on a schedule.
So that'll be great. Already, you got me, you've got Carla, you've got Jamie, you've got Jeff, and I'm sure there'll be loads of other people to fill the slots, because it's for a great cause, and anything that we can do to help out, we are more than willing to.
Thank you, 2Ply. Love your booty.
It's got that booty thing going on. So yeah, everybody's willing to help out, and it's great. So as far as anything else, what's Cheza going to be doing in the future?
We shall see.
just living life. That's
not
great.
a clue. The future of everything at the minute, I'm sure my hubby won't mind. He's already spoke about it before. The future of everything at the minute depends on the hubby. He's currently got kidney cancer.
Oh.
So if anyone's happened to has a kidney spare and you fancy donating it, but it's not aggressive. It is, it hasn't grown anything. It's slow growth. So we're in the process of trying to see an oncologist, trying to get some wheels in motion for treatment, etc. So it all depends on his health, because I'm classed as his 24/7 carer. I look after him,
right,
for the basic things. And when he starts, if he does have to start going through chemo and radio, then I'm going to be needed a lot more. So,
oh yeah,
the content might be sparse, but that's why.
Right. Well, yeah, that comes first.
Yeah.
Just be very aggressive with the doctors. Don't wait around.
We've waited. I think it's 2 years he's had this cancer for.
Oh man, no, come on. He should already be on treatment by now.
Yeah, 2 years, and we didn't even know. And when we found out, I says to Andrew, I says, well, you can have one of my kidneys. If we're a match, you can have one of mine, left or right. It doesn't matter. Take both of them. I don't care. That's
Pom says you could have one of his.
Thanks, Pom.
He goes, that's if it's a match, take it. That's a wonderful gift. It really is a wonderful gift.
It is. Because he's already been through enough himself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we went for well, I went for the MOT at the GPs, at the doctors. You know, you got to go once a year, have everything looked at and prodded and poked, and
Yep.
found out that I can't give Andrew one of my kidneys because I have stage 2 kidney disease, which is,
Oh, jeez.
I mean, you couldn't make this shit up.
Yeah, I know. Really, talk about you got the kind of luck that I've got. So it's
Yeah, we always say if it went for bad luck, we'd have no luck.
that's the same here. Same
But
here.
we make the best of what we have. And
That's right. And every day is a blessing, and you just got to
Yep.
think of it that way. So yeah, send hearts up, guys. We're all with you. So, I mean, we'll do what we can to support you to the best of our abilities. Oh, jeez.
oh God, Scottish.
And just remember, guys, always be an organ donor. 'Cause, I've always been an organ donor. So if anything ever happens, they could take what they need. Because I mean, why not share the gift of life? It's really important.
Yeah.
So that people like your husband don't have to wait around if they need it. It's there. But yeah, you find out that with these doctors, they like to play around. It's you've got to be really aggressive.
Oh,
And
bless him.
just say, let's go. If it was, I always look at it, if the shoe was on the other foot, they would already have their treatments and
Yeah.
things would be on their way. But when the rest of us got to, go through it, they make us wait.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons why we wanted to do Jibber Jabber, because we wanted to, excuse me, because we're already going through what we're going through.
Right.
We want to try and make life easier for other people. And that's why I'm doing the 24-hour stream for Nathan, the little boy, because we've been in this situation. I mean, I've had 3 or 4 cancer scares myself. My mum had breast cancer and she had a lumpectomy and the thyroid glands under her arm taken out, and I had found 4 lumps in the space of, I think it was 1.5 to 2 years. And then the pap smears that all ladies have to go through, they found abnormal cells twice. And one time I had to have it biopsied and burnt away because you've got to get yourself checked. And I've been in that situation where your heart drops through the floor and you're not listening, and you hear the tinnitus ring in your ears and you can't make sense of anything.
Right.
And I just want to make online life a little bit happier for these people, and for even people who are with someone who's going through the treatments or mental health or anything. It doesn't matter. I just want to make people happy, just make people smile. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to make Jibber Jabber, just for that.
Right. Well, you do it now with what you put out there now. Everybody's always in a good mood. You're always smiling and just
because my chat's filthy.
And usually on Sundays is when we get the adult conversation going on my show. So
yeah, mine's every time.
Anything goes on that show, but the interviewing show here, we just try to get all of the details.
Yeah. Well, you've had all the gory details. I've pissed myself and everything.
Yeah, she peed herself and everything. All right. So oh my God. Well, Cheza, thank you for joining me. I really enjoyed it. And I'm sure everybody else did. And please keep us posted on the fundraiser.
Yeah, will do.
Because everybody wants to be a part of it. And we send out our prayers and blessings to them. And may God give them as much time as they can get. And as far as you, the same blessings to you and your husband. Things might get better. Miracles do happen, guys. You just got to keep praying for them.
Yeah.
And we look forward to what you guys got coming on in the future. It's going to be great.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for joining us. We really enjoyed it. I loved having her on. Look forward to having you on again.
Yes.
Maybe we'll even get involved in some games, guys. Who the hell knows? You never know around here. Until then, guys, thanks for joining us here on the Raw Side. Everybody have a great night.